Most companies are just looking to make money, and they increase their profit margins by using minimal dosages and charging top dollar for their supplements that don't work.
What's up guys, Sean Alawani, RealScienceAthletics.com, and in this video today we are doing a supplement review, okay, something that I haven't done in quite a long time, and today we are looking at none other than V-Shred.
What's going on, guys?
Who now has a supplement line that goes by the name SculptNation. They've got a variety of different products, but someone recently sent me a message over on Instagram saying that I should take a look at their pre-workout product because it was, in their words, one of the worst pre-workout formulas they had ever seen. Now, I would personally never say something like that. Okay, this is just something that I heard from someone else who isn't me. But I figured I'd take a look anyway and give you guys a step-by-step breakdown of the product, since they do have a very large following and they also do a ton of paid advertising as well. And so naturally, there are going to be a lot of people out there who are purchasing this product. Now, Vince Sant, who is the face of V-Shred, V-Shred itself is actually made up of a group of internet marketers, fitness experts. But Vince has gotten a lot of attention over the past year for allegedly putting out highly inaccurate information on a consistent basis.
I'm talking about the Romanian deadlift. That is just when you see people stepping up to the bar, they have their feet about shoulder width apart, feet slightly pointed outwards, and they grab this bar just outside of their shins, and they pull this straight up their legs. They drive their hips forward, lock out their glutes.
And for allegedly plagiarizing large amounts of content. Now, I don't know whether or not any of that is actually true, and I really don't know why Vince gets so much hate because, quite honestly, I think he's extremely knowledgeable, he's articulate, and he gives very well thought out training advice.
But there's a better way to do it, because when you are doing, and this goes for any cable extension, for any tricep extension on a cable, when you're doing a tricep extension on a cable right here, what happens is, yes, right here, and then first off, when you're doing this, a lot of a common issue I see, and you're going to when your elbows are at the top of the exercise.
Not only that, but his understanding of nutrition also seems to be really on point, and I've seen him give some unique insights that I've personally never even thought of before.
You're making sure that you're getting the lower sugar ones. This is the lower sugar, 50% less sugar, maple and brown sugar instant oats. The ones that aren't lower sugar are obviously going to have a lot more sugar in them, and so that's going to make it a lot unhealthier of an option.
In fact, Vince is so advanced and on such a high level that he has somehow figured out how to essentially make his muscles grow at will. For example, Vince is able to build his chest while performing movements that don't even activate the pecs or place them under any resistance whatsoever.
Flex, turn back straight. Flex, turn, really focusing on squeezing down on your pec right here, holding that flex, holding that flex, holding that flex.
He has literally transcended the laws of biomechanics, and I really think that the people criticizing him are just haters who are jealous and angry because they can't comprehend just how advanced he really is.
What's going on, guys?
So, given how excellent Vince's training and nutrition advice is, I can only assume that his supplement line follows suit. Today we're going to take a more detailed look at his pre-workout, but he's also got several other really great products as well. For example, a testosterone booster. You know, it doesn't matter that not a single natural compound has ever been shown in research to increase testosterone levels high enough to actually measurably impact muscle growth. If Vince says that it works in spite of overwhelming scientific evidence based on hundreds of studies, then I think that Test Boost is well worth the $49.
The ingredients in Test Boost are amazing, and nothing extra is required. You'll burn more fat without more cardio. You'll build more muscle without lifting more. You'll become a beast in the bedroom without having to play mind tricks on yourself.
They've also got a natural human growth hormone booster. Same concept as the testosterone booster in that, okay, so all the studies show that they don't actually work for increasing and sustaining growth hormone levels high enough to actually alter body composition in any significant way. But the SculptNation website says that this product is a shortcut to your dream body that will help you rapidly gain muscle and lose fat. So how can you say no to that? They also offer a super affordable creatine product. Okay, it's only $37 for 198 grams, which is just 9 cents per gram. It's only about 6 times the cost of most other creatine monohydrate products, so that's not too bad. You know, it's not like it's 10 or 15 times the cost. It's only 6 times the cost. They've got BCAAs, which is great if you're looking for something to flavor your water with. And even better, they have a nighttime fat burner, which helps you, quote unquote, melt fat 24/7, especially while you sleep, and zap the fat once it enters your bloodstream. Fantastic.
What's going on, guys?
So let's do a more detailed breakdown of their pre-workout, which goes by the name PreWorkout. Now, the idea that this is literally the worst pre-workout formula on the market is totally unfair. Okay, I would never say such a thing or even think such a thing, and I'm going to prove it to you by giving a step-by-step analysis of the ingredients and the dosages based on what the research studies say, and I will link those studies in the description box below if you want to verify all of this for yourself. So let's take a look. So first up, we have 3 grams of branched chain amino acids. So yes, as long as you're consuming enough daily protein, then BCAAs technically are completely unnecessary and they won't have any muscle building or muscle sparing effect whatsoever. And 3 grams really isn't that much either. Usually a typical pre-workout dose would be somewhere between about 5 to 10 grams. But BCAAs have been around for such a long time and they have so much marketing hype behind them that they are quite helpful for producing an intra-workout placebo effect. And the placebo effect is real and it can give you an actual measurable improvement in training performance. So I think the use of BCAAs is perfectly justified here. Next up, we have beta-alanine. Now, beta-alanine can produce a few % increase in strength on higher rep sets lasting 60 seconds or more. And the V-Shred pre-workout provides 1.2 grams per serving, which is a little bit more than 1/2 of the absolute minimum effective research study dose of 2 grams, with the usual beta-alanine dose being somewhere between 3.2 to 6.4 grams. So that's something. I mean, they used a research-backed ingredient and put a tiny bit in. And beta-alanine also produces that tingly feeling on your skin when you take it, which again is great in terms of the placebo effect. After that, we have L-tyrosine. Now, this is actually a compound that I really like. It's why I included it in our RealScience Athletics pre-workout PureForm, which was formulated by me using actual evidence-based ingredients in their full clinical dosages. You can click up here for that or use the link in the description box if you want to check that out. But tyrosine is useful for improving focus and reducing fatigue during intense exercise. We use 3,000 milligrams in PureForm because that's a safe and effective dose that falls in line with the research study dose of anywhere between 500 to 7,000 milligrams, and the V-Shred pre-workout is also fine because it provides 1,000 milligrams per serving. Wait, shit, that's 100 milligrams per serving. Well, the absolute minimum effective dose is 500 milligrams, so it does give you 1/5 of that. So for people who are freakishly, unbelievably sensitive to pre-workout supplements, you might feel something very minor off of that. Probably not, but it's something. So moving on, the next ingredient on the list is betaine anhydrous.
And it's also got betaine, which has been researched and shown to increase muscle power.
Okay, so Vince doesn't know how to pronounce the ingredients in his own product. That's fine. Maybe it was written wrong on the teleprompter and Vince got confused for a moment. It happens. It seems to happen pretty frequently in his case, but I don't think that that means that he doesn't actually know anything about these ingredients or their proper dosages and is just completely talking out of his ass. That would be a very unfair accusation that I would never make.
What's going on, guys?
Now, there is conflicting research on this compound. It has been shown to be effective in some studies for modestly increasing strength and power, but the mechanism does overlap with creatine, and so it's possible that if you're already taking creatine, then you're not going to get any extra benefit. But they did choose to include it here. I think that that's generally okay. The usual dose for improving workout performance is 2.5 grams. The absolute minimum active dose is 500 milligrams, and our supplement expert extraordinaire Vince here put in 100 milligrams. Yeah, 100 milligrams. I know. This is fucking ridiculous. So again, 1/5 of the absolute minimum effective dose. But what are you going to do? Okay, Vince has a decent physique and thick, lustrous hair, so say what you want, science. Obviously, it's working regardless, and you should just stop being such a hater. The next ingredient is L-citrulline, a good research-backed ingredient for reducing fatigue, improving training performance, and reducing muscle soreness. We included it in PureForm as citrulline malate with 6 grams total per serving, and the V-Shred workout has 1.5 grams. So again, right? And then lastly, there's a combination of 300 milligrams of caffeine with 50 milligrams of L-theanine. Okay, so one might say that it's a little bit odd that in an older separate YouTube video, Vince actually advises against caffeine doses in the 300 milligram range because he says that it's too high.
Find one with caffeine in it. Maybe not one with 350 milligrams like I've seen some pre-workouts, maybe down in the 200 milligram range.
But look, we can argue back and forth about the fact that every single ingredient in the SculptNation pre-workout is technically completely and totally underdosed based on what the research studies say, and that they probably won't have any measurable effect on your workouts whatsoever, according to the research. If that's what you're saying, go ahead. I didn't personally say that, but one might theoretically say that, but it really doesn't matter because the bottom line is that there's a fairly large dose of caffeine included here, which will give you a noticeable boost. So even if all the other ingredients aren't actually doing anything at all, you're still going to think that they are, and the product technically will still work for giving you more energy during your workout.
Most companies are just looking to make money, and they increase their profit margins by using minimal dosages and charging top dollar for their supplements that don't work.
So what's the bottom line here, guys? I think that Vince and the V-Shred crew are an honest, respectable, and highly knowledgeable team of internet marketers, fitness experts. I don't think the fact that Vince seems to always fumble over his words when he tries to recommend the product in his videos means that secretly, deep down, he knows that it's bullshit and he realizes that he doesn't actually know what he's talking about.
But this actually just helps give me energy. It's got a little bit of caffeine in it. So this is great to take before every single one of your workouts. Really good if you're trying to put on muscle.
I don't think he's internally conflicted about consciously choosing monetary gain over honesty and transparency.
Hey, Vince here, and if you're looking for a way to take your performance in the gym, your energy in the gym, your mood and your focus at the gym, and even your results after the gym to the next level, you have to try PreWorkout by SculptNation.
If that's what other people think, then that's their opinion. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that Vince is only in it for the money, as I've heard others say in other videos. I think he's just passionate about helping people, and that this powdered caffeine pre-workout supplement, I think it's well worth the $37. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you found this review helpful. Make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow me over on Instagram as well for more daily, no-nonsense fitness tips. And if you do want to check out PureForm, which is our evidence-based pre-workout formulated with actual research-backed ingredients in their full effective dosages based on legitimate studies that will actually help to improve your strength, energy, and focus during workouts, then you can head over to RealScienceAthletics.com by clicking up here or by using the link in the description box below. And you can use coupon code YouTube15 to save 15% off your first order. Thanks again, guys, and I will see you in the next video.